In tonight's Carolina Traveler, Mike and Andy are part of a top-secret mission off the Carolina coast. The shipwreck below is federally protected and under the watchful eye of the United States Coast Guard.
That is what makes some people think that it's a national treasure, because it's related to this one individual.
We'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at the mounting evidence pointing to the most famous pirate ship that ever stalked the high seas.
Hit him on the line, yes!
And then you'll meet a teenager playing high school football with no legs. If you didn't see it with your own eyes, you wouldn't believe it. He's right down the road and on tonight's Carolina Traveler, coming to you in high definition.
Welcome to the show. Andy and I are about a mile off the North Carolina coast. We're on the Atlantic Ocean. We're on a research vessel. 30 feet below us, archaeologists are diving and inspecting the shipwreck of the most famous pirate ship in the world, Queen Anne's Revenge, Blackbeard's pirate ship. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at what they're finding down there and what they're doing to restore this unusual piece of our history. The Carolina Traveler crew was invited to go along for one rare boat trip.
Yo ho ho.
Pirate's life for me. As long as I have Dramamine. We're not going to tell you exactly where we are, but we are along North Carolina's Crystal Coast, approaching a federally protected site monitored by the Coast Guard.
You think of diving, you're like, oh, it's gonna be sunny and warm and it's a great job.
Sunny, yes. Warm, not so much. Well, when we planned to come out on the research vessel, you know, it is late fall. We expected it to be cool. We didn't expect record low temperatures, which is what we're getting this week here on the Crystal Coast. Good times.
Just go make a run before you come up.
There is a shipwreck below us from the early 1700s.
Beyond the sea.
It's in the right spot. Has the right artifacts from the right time period.
Discovered in 1996, evidence is now mounting with every dive.
The evidence is greater that it is Queen Anne's Revenge than it isn't.
Yes, the QAR, the Queen Anne's Revenge, the most famous pirate ship, captained by the most notorious pirate, Blackbeard.
That is what makes some people think that it's a national treasure.
These aren't simply scuba divers. Every one of them is an archaeologist.
You get to come out here and dive and see the stuff that nobody's seen for almost 300 years.
Wendy Welsh is the QAR assistant conservator.
I am a nerd. I am a nerd, but it's a good nerd, you know.
Archaeologists are science nerds, but they don't just cherish history.
The base of a large wine bottle.
They unearth it and listen to the story it tells. It's like sheet metal, basically, but sheet lead. And it's not lost on any of them what they are unearthing and whose story it is telling.
Wow, this stuff, the last person that actually saw this stuff was Blackbeard's crew.
Nothing to describe coming across these and thinking about the last person that was handling it and touching it was almost 300 years ago.
So does it ever just blow your mind that you're holding what is essentially a bullet from a musket from Blackbeard's ship?
A little bit.
I mean, come on.
Yes.
Who else is doing
Yes.
this? Linda Carnes-McNaughton is sifting through debris brought up by the sluice, a giant underwater vacuum sucking up smaller artifacts divers cannot see.
It's laborious at every level, and yet it's the same care.
Franklin Price is panning for gold. Flakes. So small, he uses an eyedropper to extract them.
It's pretty obvious that the vessel came in, ran aground, and pretty much sank in place.
Mark Wild-Ramsing is the QAR project manager. What does one square represent size-wise?
It's a 5 foot by 5 foot square is what we're operating in.
He says they've established a search grid set by global positioning satellites. So these are the cannons that were found. The cannons are the X that marks the spot.
We think that what happened was it ran aground and then it heeled over to its port side, and all the deck items such as these.
With waterproof paper, they create maps and tag every artifact they find with its GPS grid coordinate. Anything made from iron will likely be entombed in what archaeologists call concretion. 300 years worth of sand and shells and sediment turned into a thick cement-like coat. This is the QAR Conservatory in Greenville, North Carolina, where a team of scientists are slowly...
Okay, hang on, that was 9 years ago?
Yes.
Very slowly, dissolving away the concretions.
Why wouldn't an iron cannon that's been in salt water for 300 years, why wouldn't it just completely be rusted down to the smallest pieces? Why does it even exist?
Well, it exists essentially because that concretion has formed around it.
So the concretion
and has
saved
sealed it and saved it.
Head QAR conservator Sarah Watkins Kenny knows that under these concretions, well, that's where Blackbeard's mystery unfolds into a real-life history.
What is really gets me is that this cannon or any of these objects, they know the answer. They know the story. They know, they have the history.
Soaking in a mild saline water, massive cannon. Cannonballs, wood planks, and perhaps one of the most telling of all artifacts, a simple pewter dinner plate that, when x-rayed, reveals a stamp, the logo, if you will,
SEW, and then
of the very tinsmith in Europe who made it.
So it's really a collective effort to try to piece it all together, because there's nothing that's going to be down there that says Queen Anne's Revenge.
But so far, every piece of this shipwreck,
Evidence keeps building toward the current hypothesis,
is telling the same story.
that it is the Queen Anne's Revenge.
Blackbeard was here.
It appears that that's what they have, and that is exciting.
So long sailing, bye-bye sailing.
You can see some of the restored artifacts from Blackbeard's ship at the North Carolina Maritime Museum in Beaufort, North Carolina. Find out more at WCNC.com/traveler. He lost his legs in a tragic train accident, but if you thought that would break him,
I just came down here on my home field to hit people and win the game and have some fun.
you'd be dead wrong. Next on the Carolina Traveler.
Yeah, tell him, Kramer. Tell him. Welcome back to the show. Close enough. We're at a high school football stadium. If you're gonna go out for high school football, you gotta be big and you gotta be fast. Oh, wait. What's that cliche? It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog.
A lot of proactive language. One of them's going to use a lot of reactive language.
In Greenville, South Carolina, a 9th grade football player sits in class.
But that's what they're telling you to do.
It's game day, and he's just counting down the minutes until he can hit someone.
Help him back up so you can knock him down again. Let's go. Go get him. Let's go. Hit him on the line. Yes. You got him. You got him.
He breaks all those stereotypes.
Two things about this kid will grab your attention right out of the box.
He probably saying right thing, but Mike can do that.
One is that accent. He's a Russian immigrant trying to learn American football.
Cost is not a gimmick. He is for real. He works hard. He earns what he gets. If he plays tonight, it's because he earned it.
The other thing, yeah, he's trying to play football with no legs.
Look good, look sharp. Let's go. Come on, Cost. Get out there, man.
I'll get to the backstory in just a minute because it's one you're not going to want to miss. But right now, pick your jaw off the floor and just watch.
Cover one. Cover one. Where's he at?
I just came down here on my home field to hit people and win the game and have some fun.
Go, Sean, go!
Born 17 years ago in Siberia, Russia, young Konstantine's life turned out to be nothing short of brutal. At 6 years old, his mom was killed in an accident. At 9, while playing on a Siberian railroad track, a train chopped his legs off.
And took him to the train station and said, "You're going to an orphanage. I'm sorry, because I can't take care of you."
And at 11, his alcoholic father abandoned him in an orphanage.
There's plenty of kids in that orphanage that are very bitter.
Who would blame him if he just gave up?
Now, would you wake up and say, I'm going to adopt a teenage boy who's 15 and he doesn't speak any English and he's been in a Russian orphanage and he doesn't have any legs?
The answer to that question is no, but it happened anyway.
And the way we met Coastie is we simply volunteered to be a host family for 1 month. And the program was that he would be flown to America, stay 1 month, receive legs, prosthetic legs, and go back to Russia.
Kim Benham of Greenville, South Carolina met Konstantin, who, by the way, has Americanized his name to Kos, when he was flown to the United States by Project Hope to be fitted with prosthetic limbs.
Truly, from that moment, we knew that he was supposed to be with us.
On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Kim says it was God who brought Kos to her.
I came from Russia 2 years ago.
Kos says it was God who took his legs.
But he didn't let me down when my train accident. He knew I can do something good with it. I lost my legs. I thought I was gonna die. But he said, no, I need him. He might can do something good in the future for other people.
7 minutes! For reasons I can't put into words, Kos looks at his tragic train accident as God handing him a mission.
God put me right here, sit on this grass and talk to the camera or talk to you about it.
He says if he hadn't lost his legs, well, he wouldn't be here right now in America, telling all of you about his friends back home who need help. His orphanage in Nizhny Lamov, Siberia, is home to 100 other Russian children, all amputees. Every one of them has almost no future.
If I'm gonna come down here to live with that family, I'm gonna learn English, gonna go to school, gonna go to college, I'm gonna get educated. They're gonna help me.
Kos knew being adopted by an American family could open doors for a lot of kids.
Well, I'm helping my friends from orphanage. I want them to be happy like me right now, be in America with a family.
Well, you know, sometimes it's easy to lose perspective of what God had, what He's blessed you with.
The unbreakable Kos has even caught the eye of Clemson Tigers football coach Tommy Bowden.
It kind of brings them back to reality about what they have been blessed with.
Coach Bowden invited Kos to speak to his players and to show a 6'5", 300-pound offensive lineman how having no legs isn't the worst thing that could happen to you. But getting beat by a kid with no legs, well, that's close.
Most people give up. He might not have liked the hand that he's dealt, but he has surely done the best he can with it.
When he arrived in America from the Russian orphanage, right away, Kos recognized there's a difference about American teens.
He said, Mama, American kids different than orphanage kids. Orphanage kids don't have stuff. American kids, too much stuff.
Come on, go! Right there!
He probably doesn't realize it, but Kos might be able to help some young Americans too with his simple message.
I'm happy whatever I have right now. I'm happy.
That happiness is a choice.
He's had such adversity, and he absolutely doesn't see the adversity, but says, okay, what can I do now? I lost my legs, am I gonna lay on the couch? No, I don't wanna do that. Those are his words.
As you might imagine, Mom thought football was a really bad idea for Kos.
What about wrestling? You can wrestle. You don't have to have, your legs as much. But football?
But Kos has a way. He always has a way of changing minds.
The first time, I just immediately was overwhelmed. I mean, I was sitting there with tears running down my face just because I thought, he's out there playing. You go, Kos.
Keep going, keep running.
None of this is amazing to the unbreakable Kos. Because remember, I told you, this is game day, and he just wants to hit somebody.
I don't care what they're saying. The only thing I care, I just want to hit them.
Yes!
Yeah, good game, boy. Good game, my man. Good game. Good. Good job. What's up, boy? Good game, guys. Good game.
Project Hope helps disadvantaged children and adults all over the world. If you would like more information, you can get to their website through ours at wcnc.com/traveler. Up next, this guy says he can talk to birds. Well, meet the Birdman next on the Carolina Traveler.
Hey, see, we're still here with Andy's dog, Kramer. We like to put him on TV every once in a while because it helps Andy score points with his wife, basically.
Thanks, Mike.
Thinking of you, buddy. See all those birds? See them right there flying south? You know where they're going? That's right, someplace warm for the winter. You know how I know that? Not because I actually see it happening, because I have a friend who talks to birds, and the birds tell him everything they're doing. Oh.
I'm not a bird watcher. So this story is not about birds. Look below the trees down there at the man on Earth. Yeah, this story is about that guy. The Birdman of Davidson.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird's a winner, well, a bird is a winner.
Got his resume here.
Oh yeah, the resume confirms it. He's the Birdman, all right. Okay, so here we are on a sidewalk bench. The Birdman is on my left.
You ever need a Birdman? There he is. Oh, and he's the world's strongest man.
On my right, the world's strongest man.
How you doing?
Good. Don't ask. He didn't bring his resume.
And standing behind us, I don't know.
If you need more proof that this is the Birdman.
You want to do a birdland dance? You want to do a bird dance?
Definitely.
Well, just watch.
Miss, you like to do a birdland dance?
Okay, well, how about this? Like Santa Claus, he receives mail delivered by the federal government addressed to the Birdman. No street address necessary. And these letters, well, they're from a professional football team, no less.
Do you sort of become the bird?
I think sometimes that I do have a bird brain, to a certain degree. Because, I mean, not
Joey,
literally.
Joey, we'll do the jokes.
Okay.
Actually, his jokes are funnier. And if you need more proof of his authenticity.
So actually...
Okay, whoa. So what you're telling me is that you know what birds are saying.
Yeah, if you need more proof.
The wobbling vireo. Brigadier.
Well, pull up a chair and get an education.
Just imagine if you had music and if you were a bird. So, you know, there's over 700 species of birds in the continental United States. It's considered within the bird species. Here we go. Let's go like this. All right, now, let's touch.
So there's the mockingbird,
right.
And then there's the catbird, the great catbird, which also mocks other birds.
And now let's bump, let's go a little bit more. Okay, come on, bump, and bump again, come on. The sage thrasher, he does reveille.
Every once in a while, some amateur whistler will try to talk technique with the Birdman.
What, is your tongue going to change?
No, I have a saliva that I whistle through. It's whistling in instead of out.
I didn't care much for technique, I just tried to get him in trouble.
Go ahead and whistle at her. Go ahead, whistle at her.
When he's not dancing and chirping around town.
You know, like this. Yeah, like this, and we touch arms.
The Birdman performs at church functions and retirement homes and birthday parties, you name it.
So 700 species of birds in the United States, but one Birdman, Joey, the Birdman of Davidson.
So it's studying some.
You know, that was the perfect capper to the story, and then you just started talking. Did you feel the moment there?
Well, this actually is the end, and I submit one last piece of evidence.
This is the Birdman sunglasses, which I like to present to Mike on the Carolina Traveler.
So these are sunglasses that I can wear?
You can wear, yes you can. They're stylish too.
Wow. Oh yeah, that seals it. He is certifiable, and he's also the Birdman of Davidson, North Carolina.
Now, like you're pecking at the ground,
Up next, even weirder stuff. The outtakes are straight ahead.
I love your show. I love you.
For all the viewers out there, this is how you get on the show.
That's right.
You see me anywhere, all you have to do is scream at me, I love your show, and we'll put you on TV.
Thank you for watching and enjoy the outtakes.
Do you love Andy?
Well, yes, when I Woo! I love it when you bring Andy on.
Go give Andy a hug.
Oh, give
Andy needs a hug. How's this look working for me?
Stop teasing my dog, mister.
All right. Welcome back to the show. I'm still here with Andy's dog Kramer, and you can see that the Andy and the dog, same temperament.
Hey, if you have a story idea for Mike and Andy, send it to carolinatraveler@wcnc.com.
Thank God you weren't my surgeon.